Guys, welcome to another episode of Takeover with Alex. So today I have the amazing Scott North with joining me. We've just been chatting away here already. So every time we're going to start it, then we'll start a conversation and then we'll get lost in it, but we're actually just going to start it now. So for those who don't know what this channel is all about, it's all about personal development. And the reason why I wanted to do these takeovers was just to bring personal awareness of personal development out there, because for me, personal development covers a whole lot of different elements and tools. There's not one thing that defines personal development for me. And the reason why I want to get different guests on is because I want to know what personal development means to them. So Scott is a personal trainer and he also does lots of other things. So what I'm going to do is get him to do a quick intro on who he is and what he does. And then I'm going to go ahead and ask the core questions all around personal development. And after we've done the core questions, then we're going to delve a wee bit deeper, because I know this is going to be a good episode and we have lots to talk about. So Scott, go ahead. Tell us who you are.
When I met you, I was a coach for about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I was a coach for about 2 years. I met you quite a while ago.
Yeah, really. Ages ago, yeah.
And then obviously we just spoke back and forth when we were in the gym, and then suddenly you disappeared. But then I just sometimes see you when I'm out running.
Yeah, it's random.
I've seen you a few times out running, and I've been busted. I'm like,
you
shouted at me, and I haven't seen you. We've kind of just just kept briefly in contact. I would sometimes like some of your stuff on Instagram and stuff. And
yeah.
It's just like that. My primary coaching is basically, I like to coach individuals to show that they can do something they never thought possible. So give them the belief that they can, because there's nothing better than looking at a client and them kind of being in like a disbelief of like what they have achieved, and that's something really good, because then that like stems into other areas of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds a bit airy-fairy, I'm like, right, but like it really does. Like if they start to get the confidence from one thing, it really does blossom to other things.
Yeah, 100%.
That just helps so much.
Yeah.
So that's my main thing. That's what I currently do.
Okay.
I run a small group coaching business, PT business.
Yeah.
With about 27 clients now, which is quite good actually. So,
and you don't have your own actual facility?
No,
you just in the gym?
Just coach it in the gym.
Class.
It's always Monday to Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. and a few evening sessions. I'm doing loads tonight actually.
Wow.
Yeah, very great, but
I know.
Just tiring. It can be tiring. Like you know yourself.
Like, I know.
It's very like split shifts.
Yes.
Tiring.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's primary.
Primary what you do, right? Okay, good. Well, I'll not let you talk too much, because I know you'll end up answering some of the questions without even realizing that. Okay. Yep. So the first question is, what is personal development to you?
So like, it's okay to say, like, you did send me these now.
Yeah, of course.
So I was having a look and I was like thinking, what does it actually mean?
Yeah.
And I was tempted to look up like definition to be like, like this is what it means, you know? But like, I think for me, I've done various different aspects. I've been to therapy. I've quit drinking.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite a long time ago, actually. Recently, I went towards Christianity and stuff, and that's been quite helpful in some ways as well. I think the way I view it is like personal development for me is like you do like experimenting with small things here and there to basically improve you as a happier human being, so that you can be better for everyone else and the surroundings. Like you know, like if you're happier because you've been doing things, then everyone else benefits. So that's what it is. Like just be experimentational bits and pieces.
It
doesn't sound too complex, but that's really how I feel about it.
Well, that's good, because the simpler the better as well. You know, people overcomplicate it and then they don't even know what it is. So that's why the purpose of these interviews is to show that it doesn't have to be complicated. You know, and it's not just for very successful people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, of their personal development, they wouldn't have got successful.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's for everybody. So good answer. Yeah. When did your journey with personal development begin?
like this one I actually sat and thought about for a while, because when I when I read it, I had to when, and I feel like I've always, as you start in life, you generally do just develop things and start to learn. And I think personal development is learning about things you like and dislike and how to deal with interactions and stuff like that. There was no real major key point in life.
Okay.
There was key events, key things that key things that may have happened that change a lot for me, but I do feel like it started just from since I popped out.
Good, right. Well, you were always developing, so it is. It's good. It's hard to define one actual major point.
I feel like the self-awareness to it grew as you got older, and you were more like, right, I need to maybe do certain things because I'm seeing missing gaps, and I'm either a bit depressed or I'm not very happy with where I'm at, or how do I deal with this thing? I think as you get older, you begin to become more self-aware and you start to seek out them opportunities more.
Well, hopefully you do. Some people don't.
Some people. Yeah. I was thinking, some people don't. Some people don't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yes. Definitely. Good. So what are your main tools or elements of personal development that you use or practice consistently?
Let's say exercise. So that's quite a regular thing that I do a lot of the time. I feel like the discipline in just doing that and continually being like, I've done this. You get a bit of a belief in the sense of I can achieve things by doing it. And I feel like you learn a lot just from exercise.
Yeah, of course.
You continually fail 24/7. And you know that through your failure, you just get better and better and better. I'm
trying to unlock the thing, I'm actually very unprofessional because I still don't memorize these questions.
It's grand.
I don't care.
The next one would be I would say I did, well, no, this is not something I read, but I did do therapy for about maybe a year. This came from, that was very important. That was one of them events where you didn't realize much had happened during it, but maybe 6 months later, you were like, oh my goodness, how I speak to myself and how I act now is different compared to before. And that was, we could maybe speak about that in a wee while, but that was very important. Another one would be nearly sometimes would be, this is very new. So, and sometimes I would get it sounds embarrassed to say, but sometimes I would pray and stuff like that. And that's a very new revelation. And it depends who you speak to about Christianity. It's bad and it's good. But for me, it's helped a lot. It just kind of keeps a sense of calming. Is there anything else that I do? Well, I could say just normal things like sleeping, eating, spend time with your partner, spend time with family. I think it's very, very important.
Yeah.
So
Next one. Good one. Right. Okay. So, what has been your biggest aha moment or life-changing moment to date?
I feel like I would have been a wee bit of a perfectionist for quite some time. I would have really wanted to make sure everything has to be bang on, otherwise it won't go ahead or it won't start. And it's more now you only really do get better the more you do the thing.
Yes, of course.
Continually trying to perfect that thing, and you're never putting it out. You're never going to know or get any better because you don't know what's wrong with it until you put the thing out.
Yes, of course. True.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
maybe this here. I'm just putting the link there. I'm I'll learn as I go. I don't care.
And, that I think just do it. Figure it out as you go along. Because that for me, I like doing things. See if I perfect it, it just actually causes a major headache.
Absolutely.
And you're this is not good enough. But you look back from where you started to now, there's a big difference.
Well, that's it. And there is no such thing as perfection because it means if something's perfect, there's no room for growth or improvement, and you're always
That'd be such
constantly
a
wanting to
strange
grow.
thing in a world like this.
Can you imagine? Perfection is final.
Yeah.
Sure, life isn't final,
Sure,
but
even-
you continue involving and stuff. So
even look at like the iPhones and all,
I
they're
know,
still trying to
exactly.
perfect it.
Do you know what I mean? There's always going to be a development of
So,
some sort.
Like,
So
yeah,
it's a real false illusion trying to have perfection, isn't it?
something that I was, if something wasn't right, I would be very critical of it. Very like it's not going out. And as the years got on, especially in a business, you do need to just fuck it. Just go for it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have time to sit and think about all the tiny things.
You need to get certain things out because
your
livelihood depends on it sometimes. So you have to sit and laugh about.
And the things you're pondering over and worrying about, people don't even see or don't even care.
Oh no, that's bad thing.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Right. So, what is your proudest achievement to date?
Oh. There's like a few there's a few things but there are a few things. But the first thing that came into my mind was probably my marathon.
Yes,
which is 3 hours. I got it 3 hours 7 minutes in London.
Amazing, like wow!
So it's pretty.
It took me 4.5 hours in London.
Did you do it this year?
I did last year.
Last year.
Okay, us London Marathon runners.
How did you get in? Did you do the?
Oh, listen, I know people.
That's something you hear in Belfast a lot. I know people, and they're like, right.
I just got in.
Actually,
no, through Men Cup, the charity Men Cup.
That's right. Yes.
It was all really it was mental how it all worked out, but I won't talk about it because it's a whole big story. It was mad how it all worked out.
Okay.
It was mental. But just fell into
all
place.
Good though, like,
all really good. Positive. All mental. It was just mad how it all fell into place. But it's a whole big story, so I'll not go there today.
You never know, we might end up going. I'll be sitting there. I need to get going at
4 o'clock at night earlier on. Oh god.
The only other thing that I can really say would be like. So I sat and looked at. I did a run at the weekend. You there to help, which was lovely. And then I had a client event as well, where it was just all my clients getting together, and I just keep looking at the photos. Yeah, and just being like, "Holy shit, that's a lot of people." Yes, I know you got a good turnout as well on Sunday. Like that was amazing. Like, even for the client event, we did a client event the night before. Yeah. And just looking at that photo, it's just cool to know that I actually managed to get that many people together. Yes, who are willing to come out and do something for my coaching stuff that I do. Brilliant. And that blows my mind, I think, a bit more than anything else, because that's took quite a long time. Good. It's just a real positive, something really nice about that. Like, hey, look at that, it's brilliant. And that's good feedback from the universe to say what you're doing is like people generally wanted to come out, and people actually had a good time. Yeah, and that's cool. Like, that's like, it's a bit mind blowing. It's like, how cool is that? You know what I mean? And it's well deserved. Yeah, thank you. So, what is your go-to personal development or self-help book? I love this question. So I find self-help books hard to read. Now, I have read one that really sticks in my mind, and it's always been like, Atomic Habits. No, I've heard that one. Atomic Habits, right? No. Okay, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Right. See, this is why I love this question, because you get so many different answers every time. And I was like one of the only ones I would read and read again. I've actually read it twice. Okay. So there's been other ones that, like, what's the other one? It's like how to not give a fuck about. Oh yes, I know what you mean. You know what that one there? The art of not giving a fuck. I read it and I was just like, it's been mentioned on this. Yeah. Yeah, and that it's like it's good, but it just never resonated with me. I was like, well, sweet, like you just don't give a fuck, and that's all good. It's basically says what it can. Like, you just read it, like, right, that's that book. Anyway, Atomic Habits. It's all about like habits and like how integrating certain habits into your life and stacking them, and it's very positive. Like it one of the things that really sticks in my mind is like, see, if you're in such a negative headspace, it's like doing one small action that day that is positive, can begin to stack up to be, a great thing. Oh and just even the small ones that don't feel relevant. Yeah. See, the more you do them, better it becomes. And it talks about like minimal gains. It's very like positive in that side of things. That's what I quite like, because sometimes you do go through life and you feel like whatever you do, like nothing's going your way.
Yeah.
But if you think, oh, well, if I just do this one small thing today, like this is really help if you're really down in the dumps.
Yeah,
and stuff.
of course. Yeah.
If I just do that one small thing, like get out of bed, that's the positive action.
Definitely.
That resonated with me a bit. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. That helps me not be so hard myself.
Yeah.
I was very hard myself.
Yeah. So because you were always striving for the perfection.
I was, yes. Yeah. That was the issue.
Yeah.
Atomic Habits, James Clear. It's quite. Yeah, you'll probably recognize what it looks like. Okay, that's what it looks like.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So, then, what is one golden nugget for life you would like to share?
I can actually read this one at the bottom. What is one golden nugget for life that I like to share?
Yeah. Well, you kind of nearly were sharing it.
Yeah, I think it was like at the top.
Of my head there.
This is basically like. There is a saying, if I say I butcher it, like it's imperfect action is better than perfect inaction.
Okay. Yes. So like, yes, I know exactly.
Just get on with it.
Just
do it. Who cares if it's not perfect? Yeah. And then instead of like waiting for the right moment and never doing anything about it and never getting any further.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things in my life right now that I just went, fuck it. Let's go. Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
And you do get so much better.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of my clients will say, I have one in particular, they're training for a triathlon.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And they won't book the triathlon until they feel ready.
Oh, there's no such thing. They're never going to be ready if he or she, whatever.
You're never going to be ready.
Yeah.
Well, they're not a client anymore, but they speak to me a bit.
Did you sack them?
I was like, get away, you're not listening to me, I've had enough. But yeah, gee, like, it's like, just book it and worry about it later. I always say, people just book it and worry about it later. Then once you're in it, it's exciting. You booked it, oh my goodness, I have to train. And then you get into it, because no, you're just not. If I waited to friggin' do a marathon, I would not have done it.
I was the same. Yep.
You just book it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And you're on the day and you're like, oh shit, this is horrible.
This is horrible, yeah.
It's difficult, like.
It's like anything, I think. Well, sure, look, if people, when they're buying a house and stuff, you know, they talk themselves in and out, you know, but you don't worry about it. You just get the mortgage and then you don't worry about every single payment for the rest of your life.
No,
You know, or your holiday, if you're booking a big holiday, just like, fuck it, we'll just book it. We'll get the money somehow. You know, you just do it. If you don't book it, then you'll never do it, you know. So that's what I do. I just book things and then just go, we'll work it out, we'll get there. And, you know, and it always works out.
My partner would love to hear you say that, especially at the holidays.
Like, right.
Dying for a holiday. And I'm like, hang on a minute.
Just book it. What are you waiting on?
Like, well, we are doing something. 2026, we're going to go to Australia for 2 months.
Right, well, that's a big holiday.
That's a big holiday.
Yeah,
and I think we won't work for the entirety of that time.
Right, well, I mean, that's a huge, big journey to go
She wants to go on a holiday in 2025, so can we just hold it off? And then, you know, because it'd be quite a lot of money to go to Australia.
You can work it out. Kira, he's going to get the holiday next year. Right, Scott, so that was the main questions there, and they're a great wee icebreaker, I think, you know, just for talking about what personal development means to you and how you use it every day and stuff, you know. And it's clear to me that you've struggled a lot with perfection then over the years, because even your last nugget there, you know, the quote was all around, you know, perfection and stuff, and just doing it anyway, you know, that way. Can you think in your mind where that kind of came from, you know, it stemmed from, or why you feel you had to strive so much for perfection?
Like, I just always remember being in primary school, like secondary and primary school, like I always had to get things bang on. And I don't know why. Everything had to be perfect. Like, everything had to be, like, I even used to obsess over, like, you know, if you were buying a toy or something, I think this is really just clicked something in my mind where, like, the toy would have to be exactly the way I want it to be, how I visioned it.
Okay, right, okay.
So that's really weird. I've actually never spoken to a therapist about that.
You're being your therapist now.
And so yeah, I really wish I knew why. There could be things that are maybe deeper into my childhood that I got a good childhood, like it was nothing majorly.
Yeah.
Everyone has certain things they might have to deal with.
Exactly.
But I can't quite recall why. Like why did everyone had to be bang on initially.
Right.
And as time went on, I realized that it was just holding me back.
I was going to say, how did that debilitate you, and how did you realize it was debilitating?
Like, I think very apparent in university, because like when you leave secondary school, like you're not really under any kind of like guidance from your parents.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, and what I mean by that is like my parents would help me a wee bit in secondary school, or they'd be like, "Have you done your work?" Because you live in house with them, so if they see you're not doing anything, they will call you out for it. Okay, but when you're in uni, you're on your own, and like your mates will be like, "Let's just go out for a few pints or something," and that would be the way it would go. What would often happen would be any kind of work that I did, because I did architectural technology in uni.
Oh, right, okay.
So
that's very different.
That's very designy.
Right.
So you can,
yes, very everything.
Yeah, so everyone had to be super like the way I wanted it to be. And there was multiple times when it came down to how the design should look. Okay. Versus like how the design should look the way I wanted versus the practicality of it working. Okay. In the sense of a building. Right. So I used to love buildings that were curvy and swoopy and really mad looking. Yeah. But if someone was looking at a house that needed 4 walls, that wasn't very buildable. Yeah. So
you really needed to be doing high end design work rather than low end box houses
and stuff. Yeah. And that held me back because you could throw your flair in if you could make it work. Yeah. But I was like, I really need to keep this flair, and then I couldn't make it work. Okay. Which resulted in my marks going down. Oh, so I got a 2-1 at the end of it. Right. But like,
but for being so creative, or just because it wasn't marrying together and it wasn't practical then?
It just wasn't practical, and you would like miss certain aspects of like the brief that you were provided with. Okay, and so you might miss out something that was not majorly essential, but like this room needed to be a certain size, and it's like an 1/8 of a size. Oh, right, okay. And it's like you just put it in, give it a name, because you know you'll get a mark for at least a name. Oh, right, okay. Right. So it'll be like family room, the main room, and it's like it'll be half the size it should be. Okay. It's not practical and it's not buildable.
But it looked good on design.
It looked good. Looked external, looked good. The inside might have looked, interior may have looked good, but it just wasn't buildable. Okay. But I think that's common with anyone who does the artsy side of architecture. Yes. You will come out of architecture and you have to really go, okay, well, I actually need my design now is going to be, I'm going to be designing schools. Okay. Which are rectangular. Yeah. And
boring looking.
Not swoopy. And, just boring. But practical.
Practical, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference, isn't there? Like,
just budget. Like, if you want swoopy buildings, all you need to be a top flying architect.
Well, that's what I was saying, just high end.
So that's where it began to hold me back. Right. And then, like, I got a job as an architectural technologist for 2 years then. Okay. And
I can't imagine that, just because I know you as the personal trainer and the gym person.
This is kind of like well before, like this is all well before, and like I would just find that like things were like I remember this is how I knew things were like, this is when my life started to change a wee bit. It's like everything was quite boring and mundane when you were doing it, and I remember driving down like the road to where up in the North Road. Okay, near KFC, you know, right? KFC. Yes. So near there.
The viewers might know, but
yeah. Near there, and that's where I worked. And I remember driving down one day to work, and I was actually driving home. Sorry, and I just remember thinking to myself, "Fuck, is this it?" Right. Like I'm going to drive in this road until I die. Oh, and that's that. Like,
so that was a ha-ha moment for you.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
That was a big realization.
Like this is like, I'm driving on this road every single day. How mundane. Did not enjoy my work at all. Okay. That was a ha-ha moment with very little action.
Well,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
seed was
Had me
planted.
thinking though,
Yeah.
like, and then I thought that the way to make myself feel better, I got a raise, which was like, it was like 25k, and I was like, oh god, this is brilliant.
I know.
And family were congratulating me. I was like,
it's crazy, isn't it?
I was like,
you know?
it's weird, like, because we're all taught money is this thing.
I know.
Don't get me wrong, it helps.
Of course, it's a big tool in life, yeah,
And
but like 25k is not a big tool
no,
in life. Like,
not now.
not
You're screwed with it.
For sake of
So, like,
exactly.
I was just like, right, well, class, like, brilliant.
Yeah.
Coasted about for a while, still wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Then I thought, I don't like this place anymore, I'll move. Maybe that's what'll fix it.
Okay.
I moved to another architect office.
Right.
Bit more flashier, a bit more fancier. They
Right.
like are responsible. Can I say that? Yeah, be alright. They're responsible for like the Grand Hotel. What's it called? The big black one.
The big Grand Central Hotel.
Grand Central Hotel.
It's an amazing building, like.
So it's a pretty, you know, state of art. They've done a few things. They did the new SU in Queens.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
RPP Architects they were called. I won't say too much now because I've named them, but like it just didn't really work out.
I just don't think you were really an officey person, really.
No,
yeah.
Like this is kind of where it was, where like I just hated sitting looking at a computer. Now I look at a computer a fair bit at the moment.
Yeah, but
I am with people a lot at the same time. I remember just being like this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like it. I had a wee bit of a run on with someone in there, and then I thought. I used to go to the gym, train a lot. I used to watch PTs. I was like, these boys get paid to chat shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it is. I was like, this is mad. So I used to watch them, like, and just
what
like,
do you mean they chat shit? They don't?
I was just like, you get paid for this.
Yeah.
That's why I kept thinking, they get paid for this.
Yeah.
Now, it does look like we do just chat shit and we do a lot. But that's a very integral part to what we do.
But but you actually do. I think PTs get a bad rep because people just think, oh, it's just an easy thing to fall into. But it's actually not. It's quite a very high skilled job. Yep. You know, one, you have to know the anatomy and physiology of the body.
Yeah.
Moves, what part of exercise does that, especially when you're doing more kind of specific work, like hypertrophy and, you know, all that physique training. You know, you do need to know your stuff, like dietary, you know, all supplements. There is a lot. It's a science, like. So people just kind of diss it, you know. It's like, yeah, whatever, you know, you'll just.
And it's like, I think the hardest thing's dealing with the people, like making sure they, like, any PT can take anyone on, but I do feel like if that person doesn't have the ability to learn about that person and
they haven't got people skills, and emotional intelligence.
That person just signs up to a PT and leaves after maybe 4 weeks because they don't believe they can do it.
Yeah,
that's where you come in and have to do all your
doing the mindset talking and the personal development.
That's a learning curve.
That's a learning curve. Well, that's very much why I did a lot of personal development mindset stuff first before I went in to do my personal training course, because years ago I actually done my level 2, and when I was on the assessment for the day, you know, when you're getting assessed, and I was like, the girl says, "Will you stop playing with your tracksuit dog? You look bored." I was like, "Love, I am bored. I'm not going to do this." She was like, "Right, okay." But did I pass? Yes, okay. You passed. I was like, "Wait, well, whatever." You know what I mean? With the sass. I was like, "Yeah, whatever, and I'm doing this anyway." So then, like 12 years later, I'm back at another PT course, you know.
That's so strange.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I know. Yeah. I know.
Who did you go with? Was it Lennon?
Yeah, I went VCA, yes.
They're very good.
They're amazing. And why I loved it, because I'd heard so much about Lenny to begin with, you know, just that he invested so much in his own career development and stuff. And I thought, well, do you know what? If somebody's investing that much and they've really grew from nothing, then that's the kind of person I want to go to, you know. And because it was in person, it wasn't online, it was 16 weeks. I had a lot of toxic masculinity issues over the years, and the gym I had not a lot of bad experience, but I had a few bad experiences in certain gyms, and that really affected me, you know, confidence being in the gym and, you know, just interaction and stuff. So I thought, but you know what, this will be a great personal development journey for me, even if I don't become a personal trainer. it's something that's going to help me, you know, and I really felt drawn to do that. And it did really, really help me in so many levels. It was an amazing thing to do.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. You know, it helped me overcome so much hurdles that I had built up over the years, you know.
I'll tap it because like that, just initially, you had a lot of dealt with a lot of toxic masculinity things. Then you happen to go into a gym setting. There's a fair few, but pretty male dominant.
It's very male dominant, yeah.
That because I'd say like there will be someone who might
100%,
and that's just PT
that's PT, and it's just life, you know, and it's fine. But because I have a much better self-awareness, you know, I know exactly who I am in life. I don't need to worry about what other people's opinions are. So it doesn't matter. But 12 years ago, when I was in a different mindset, in a different place in my life, then it very much mattered. And I had a very traumatic experience one day in a gym, which, you know, I felt like I was back in school being bullied. I was froze with fear, you know, and I was a fully grown ass guy, like, you know, who had a bit of streetwise, you know, but still that situation made me freeze, and I had to stay in I think it was either the toilet or the changing room, and they were all out the gym, and I was just like frozen, you know, that way, because I felt like I was back in school and was being bullied again. It was awful. But then I just got myself together, and then I just left, and I didn't go back to that gym, you know. Yeah. And I won't say where it is, but you know,
that's fair enough.
It was
that's really shit.
It was really, really shit, you know.
Probably, like, as shit as the circumstances was, probably learned something from that.
Oh yeah, I learned a lot from it, you know. Yeah, 100%, you know.
Yeah. Like I dealt with something very recently like that with my own self.
Oh, okay. Right.
Just somebody was saying something to me.
Okay.
That was none of their business. And I'm not a very confrontational person. Yes, I tend to avoid confrontation. Yeah, okay. So I avoided so much. Yeah. And felt like bullying. Yeah. It had happened a few occasions. I was like, this is not nice.
Right.
This is unpleasant.
Yeah.
So then I pulled that person for what they had said. I lost it a wee bit. No, like physical violence, but I was definitely swore a few times. Yeah. And I thought that was it. It's cleared. Yeah. And then that person then the following day proceeded to get into my face and like get up into me.
Right.
That's 2 weeks ago.
Right.
That's the first awkward interaction that I had in a gym.
Okay.
But I'm not leaving the gym like
no.
It was just unpleasant.
Yeah.
But it had to be stopped.
Okay.
Because it was happened 3 different occasions. And that's like, if this continues on, my life's going to become very miserable because it's an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, 100%.
And I pulled the person for it. They just weren't pleased that I'd pulled them for it.
Okay.
And that I'd showed. It actually nearly felt good to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take that.
And that shows growth in you then as well.
Yeah, because I would not normally do that.
Yeah, okay.
No, definitely not. So just like, but there you go. Yeah.
So it can happen, you know, in those kind of environments, you know, any big kind of environment like that.
Any kind of environment, like it's happened to me in my other environments, like when I was working in the office.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know why. Sometimes everyone must deal with it.
Just the tribal thing, yeah. People are trying to get their tribe and show think that they're big and all, and you know, I don't know. But
the malicious intent behind that, I never quite grasped.
No. Well, that will bring us on to, I wanted to talk to you about men's mental health, because what really interested me about you was that you speaking very openly on your Instagram about men's mental health. Obviously, you've been through some stuff yourself, you know. Well, talk to us how mental health looks to you.
So, I think we've touched on it slightly, but I would you're talking about the most recent post that I posted about. Basically, it was
the last week.
Yeah, it was very recent. And I done Movember, so I had done. And then there's a photo of me just getting completely shaven and everything off. And I actually held off to post it.
Okay.
And I don't know what it was. I was kind of like, I wasn't too worried about sharing my own personal stuff. I was like, oh, it'll be all right. Nobody really needs to hear it. Yeah. You know, it's not that important. But then I was like, well, somebody might actually need to hear it.
Yeah.
And somebody might actually benefit from it, and somebody might actually want to read something like this. And basically, it was discussing how me, as a man, would deal with my feelings when they came up. Okay. And a lot of the time, when I dealt with my feelings, I would be like, these feelings aren't manly. Yeah. Put them to the side. And then I would follow up by, why am I even feeling those feelings? Because they're not manly feelings. I shouldn't be feeling them feelings. Yeah. And then I would feel pretty down about it. And that vicious cycle would just continue to happen. Okay. I would never forgive myself for feeling these. That's not a very great way to deal with things.
No. Not
at all.
You're just burying them away.
Yeah. So it was talking about that, and then talking about how I went to therapy to literally to address that.
Okay.
And then from addressing that and like learning how that, I remember my therapist saying, Scott, like, emotions that you feel are very normal.
Yeah.
And that it's okay to feel them.
Yes.
As a man, even. Yeah. And I was like,
Did you have some toxic masculinity traits? I hate even saying that there, but
I wouldn't say, what do you mean by like toxic masculinity?
Like, that negative kind of real. I hate even saying that.
I would never like put the standards upon anyone else, but I would have placed them all on myself. So I should not feel this way. I should be this way. This way. I should be a man. I should suck it up.
Yeah.
It was never on anyone else. Like, my girlfriend would always say, like, but like, look at the way you talk to everyone else.
Yeah, of course.
You would never say that to anyone else, but for yourself, you hold yourself to a high standard like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it did take a wee while to get into me. And then I think it was a few moments where like I had these feelings and then addressed them in the way that the therapist kind of talked me through. And I began to go, I don't feel too bad about that. It's okay to feel that emotion. Like, and it's okay to deal with that. You know what I mean? It's okay to move on from it. And that helped me to deal with it much more smoothly. Yeah. Just being like, oh, I'm a man, I need to just suck it up and get on with it.
Well, that's it. And that's where, is it toxic? Because, that's a narrative that you've heard, whether it's from home or from school or just the environment, that in a sense has a toxic vibe to it, So that's what I mean, when you say that, because that is associated with masculinity. Oh, just get on with it. I'm a man, and
that's the accent we all do.
You know what I mean? And that's why I had so much issues, because obviously I'm so effeminate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because if I'm gay, then that kind of really stripped me away from being a man. But I am a man. I'm a physical body, male. Yes, I'm connected to the female side. But so that's where that came from. Do you know what I mean? So it was like I felt unworthy of being a man, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that was very, very hard for me, even now saying that, I kind of haven't really said that out loud as such in that way. But so that was very toxic in my mind, you know what I mean? So
did you go to therapy to deal with any of that?
I have had a lot of different therapies, and I went to both normal therapy and I also went to conversion therapy. And that was through the church.
Conversion therapy?
Yes. And that was only a short period of time, but at that time I felt that I was led to do it because that was the right thing to do in my Christian journey at that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yes, I went there, and that was very toxic.
I was going to say
that even saying that now is very actually triggering.
I've not read much into that, but I would think I'd be quite have a negative view to that. I'd be like, no way, I would not.
Yeah,
because somebody in my family is gay, and no way. Like I'd be like, no, like you're sweet, like
I'm so glad to hear you saying that. There, it's lovely. Yeah, it's so damaging. It's really, really mentally damaging.
I could imagine it. I to give context, so I deal with some people who have like relationship with food issues.
Yes,
I've learned a lot about that, and like I can imagine like that, and like they're completely different parallels here. But like you're supposed to be warming and helpful and like advise people around these issues. I could imagine just being quite like, no, you shouldn't be like that, Alex. This is wrong.
This is wrong.
You're just like,
this is not. God can heal you from this. It's not He wants from you. And then they go into your childhood and then try to blame something, like pinpoint where the homosexuality came from. Like, hold on a wee second, where did your straightness come from?
Yeah.
It's like, but then because you are, and this will lead us on to talking about Christianity, you know, but because you are, I don't know if you go to like evangelical church or you're born again, whatever, but I did go down that path. Everything's very extreme with me. So, of course, I'm this spiritual, you know, evangelical, born again, you know, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's not fine when it's becoming a toxic thing and it's telling you, giving you all this love, but it's very conditional. But God can heal you from something that you're born to be who you are in that way, you know, I believe. And, you know, that's where it comes manipulative and then damaging, emotionally damaging, you know.
I would say that, yes, because I spoke to somebody recently about this, and I said, like, surely it's a shame to, like, tell someone, like, oh, you're sin because you're gay.
Yeah.
But, like, they say they want to believe in Jesus and Christ and all that there.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're gay, or I look at the worship God and all this here.
Yeah.
I was like, that's such a shame. You know, that's such a shame. Like, if someone wants to believe in God and all, and then they have to choose, like, and they can't choose to love someone, it's tough, you know. But are you all right?
No, yeah, I'm okay, but it just really triggers me because it's like, who do you think you are judging somebody on that basis? You know what I mean? And you're missing the actual true message of what Christianity is, you know. Right. And
I would, that's this. So before I became a Christian, that was my main gripe. Yeah, because all my mates are gay.
Yeah, right, okay.
Right? I have a lot of gay friends. Yeah, even had one when I hit up that I got like baptized.
Yes, I know, and that really, I loved seeing that. I absolutely loved seeing that post.
One of my mates, he messaged me and like he was like, "Oh, I had a dream," and I was like, "Right, well, what was the dream?" Like, you came into my house and proceeded to beat me and my boyfriend up.
Oh God!
I was like, like, I was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I've seen you on numerous occasions when I was going through this kind of phase. Not once did I ever think to myself, what a sinner."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's weird. Like, that's still to this day, there's people I will talk to who are very much against it.
Yeah.
And that really keeps me real standoff vibes, because it's like, you're supposed to be nice to people and care for people.
Exactly. And you know, I just think they're missing what the cross actually means.
Yeah.
And sexuality is not a sin. It's, you know, whether it's gay, straight, bi, whatever, I understand that it talks about being promiscuous and all this sex before marriage and all. They're actually really good things, because being promiscuous isn't good for your emotional state anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, and sex before marriage can be a beautiful thing if the two of you are on that same level and you're aligned. But it doesn't mean to say you're not going to go to heaven, because heaven and hell for me is a state of mind. Mm-hmm. It's not an actual physical place. Mm-hmm. You know, we're spiritual beings. Yeah. We're extension of source energy. Yeah. So we're all here having a spirit, here having a human experience.
Yes.
We're not going to hell. Yes, we can make mistakes and whatever else and have to put hell in our own mindset. But we can live in heaven in our own mindset as well. So the Christian message for me is very symbolic.
Yes.
It's not for me an actual God's there and you're here and you're going to be unworthy and you're going to throw into hell.
Yes. There's like a toxic side to
it. You know what I mean? It's very manipulative and controlling.
And like, I'm having a good conversation. I think it's great because like there's people that like, I feel like you just couldn't say that to, because of their, like, you would be nearly...
Oh, you'd be ostracized. You'd be burnt through the stake, you know?
And I just feel like people just gloss over that and don't even really consider it at all. And it is a bit sad, because I actually looked up. So I actually spent a bit of time. I was like, churches where like same-sex marriage is legal, churches where like anyone of the sexual orientation can go. Yeah. And there are places about now. I'm pretty sure there are.
Oh, there is.
And I was like, this is brilliant. Yeah. But like, I go to a church that like they don't show it, but they don't like. I would say like, accepting is a hard word to put it. It's more like, I feel like if you were gay, you probably wouldn't want to say. That's a bit shit.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's a bit shit. That's how I feel. It's not like, it's not intentional, I don't think.
No, I don't think they do. Some of them don't. They're like, oh, we're all welcome and all, you know. But when you go to these churches as a gay person, churches predominantly are family orientated, regardless, you know, and it's lovely. If you're got a husband and wife and the lovely wee kids and all and stuff, that's lovely, you know, and it's a great place for that, you know.
100%.
But then even for single people who don't have that, whether you're straight or gay or whatever, it's very hard for single people to go to churches, I think, a lot of the time, because they're so family oriented.
Yes.
And then even then when you don't fit into the straight narrative, it's harder again, because they're like, well, where does the gay singles hang out? You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's kind of like, oh God, I'm not going to meet a man in there. You know? And ultimately, like, that's what we want.
Yes.
We want to share our life with people.
100%.
And as much as I have amazing people around me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm well loved and stuff and well looked after. But you still want to have that one person that you do that wee bit extra with, you go on holiday with, you spend that lovely connection time.
You want to ring them up and tell them.
Want to ring them up and tell them. Yeah, exactly. And share your life with, you know what I mean? And create a life together, you know? So sometimes you can't find it in there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that was always and still is, like, the thing that there's so many good things have happened because of when I did it. But, like, it's just, like, it just really saddens me. Like, somebody in church that I feel is gay.
Yeah.
I get on with him really well.
Yeah.
But I always keep thinking to myself, like, because he's not with anyone. You know? He's quite old.
Yeah.
So I was like, have you went through your entire life and never loved someone properly? And that's upsetting.
It's really upsetting.
That's what gets my. Yeah. That gets me.
Yeah.
It really gets me, because, like, what a shame.
Yeah.
I know that's really off topic, but what a shame.
It's lovely for you to say that, and it's so refreshing, and actually it's very admirable that you're so open about that, and fair play to you, mate, you know, because if people thought of it in that way, then they would actually maybe second think why they're preaching that message, because it's nearly like the detached from the consequences of what they're doing, the damage that it's actually causing. Can you imagine being told that you're wrong for loving somebody and you're getting through to hell? And then also to be told from these churches who are praying the gay away continually, it's being told it's because you don't believe, you know. And how hard that is when you grow up as a child, always have a spiritual connection, knowing that there's another, it's like a source or whatever beyond what we see. But then these people are telling you, you know, that you're going to hell because your creator doesn't, you know, approve. Well, who created me?
So
how damaging is that?
It's not great.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's not. It's like, it's just that's what blows my mind, and I've always like it's just interesting. Like, the people I have spoken to, I've spoken to one or two people about it, and like I've said it to both of them, what I've said to you about, like, imagine never living someone. Or also saying, what happened if that happened to your daughter?
I know. Exactly.
If they said, I don't like guys, I like girls, or vice versa, and like, think about that. Like, really, I mean, don't dismiss it. Like, really think about that. Like, I mean, really sit and think to yourself. Like, imagine your daughter, or imagine your son, or whatnot, never loving someone because they
not being allowed to do the most natural thing in the world is love.
I know.
That's what the core thing of everything in life is, love. You know what I mean?
And it's a bit of a shame.
It's a big shame, you know. But the thing is, a lot of time those people are protesting that are the ones who are struggling with their own identity, you know.
So it's...
And when the penny drops, when you actually go, why are you being so loud about that? What are you being so judgmental for? You know, you're trying to, you know, deal with your own issues. And a lot of the time, if you're brought up in a Christian home, you're not allowed, or any religious home, you're not allowed to be free to express yourself, to experiment, and to, you know, just enjoy what life has to offer. You don't have to do it in a reckless way, I don't mean that. No. But when you're told so stringently, you can't do this, you can't do this, then when you get older, you go off the rails and you want to go mad and you want to experiment and everything.
And you feel very alienated.
Very completely. And then that's when your life goes completely crazy. And that's when you're in hell because your mind state is in complete hell. Because you have done all this mad stuff then, because you weren't allowed to even breathe.
Yes.
Growing up,
It's like it's created like a supportive, safe environment that helps you express yourself.
Yeah.
And albeit like if you are a Christian and you're like, oh, I can understand why somebody would be a bit gutted about it, like, oh, like my son's gay, but like if you're supportive and stuff like that.
They're only got it because they have romanticized about being a grandparent and that then their kid's going to go on and that's the life they've put in their head. You know what I mean? That's what they wanted, not necessarily what the kid wanted.
Yeah.
So like jobs, careers, anybody parent telling them their kids you have to do this, you have to do this, and then being disappointed because they don't.
Yeah,
that's your vision. It's not mine.
It's like you could talk about that for hours just about like that. That was the thing that held me back for so long.
Yeah.
And then when I went ahead with it, it was more like, well, there's certain things that I'm feeling that I feel like I should commit to and give a go, and that's where. So I've never put that to the side. It's always been very at the forefront of my mind. It's like just thinking about it because like some of my game-mates will chat to me openly about it.
Yeah.
And like they ask me questions and I don't really know. This is what I believe.
Yeah.
This is firmly what I think should be done, but not everyone believes that.
No, they don't. But fair play to you for a second to it. Really amazing. Wow. So I noticed on your Instagram that you talked a lot about body image and binge eating. And I was really, really moved when I seen you speaking about it, and I wrote a wee note there saying, like, body dysmorphia, but it was around your beach post that you put on there, and you had your wee budgie smugglers on, you were loving life. But then when you got home and you're like, oh no, I can't cope with this here. Yeah. Tell me about the binge eating and like.
Ooh. So I did like a bodybuilding prep with a bodybuilder who helped coach me to get super, super shredded.
Yeah.
And he was great for that. Absolutely brilliant. And then I did like photo shoot, and I always sometimes think about me as I was doing this. Did I not think to myself, when I get to the end result, how do I maintain such a result?
Yep.
In many ways, to this day, I still am rather impressed by doing it. Like, like I was very, very.
Well, I did see the photo yesterday because it went right down your Instagram. I was like, wow, that's a sick picture. Like, you look cool in it. That was class.
I'm like, the photos are wild. I'm like, how the heck did I achieve such a result?
Class, yeah.
But then what happened then when like someone said, oh, maybe do a bodybuilding show. So I decided to do it's still going, a bodybuilding show. And I did a bodybuilding show, or I was about to do one. But 5 weeks prior to the bodybuilding show, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm telling my clients to live a healthy, happy lifestyle where they can eat and drink in moderation and generally be quite happy. Where I was living a very, very restricted lifestyle, not eating or barely eating, not drinking at all, and like always joke about it, where it's like going to a granny's birthday and not having a bit of cake.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and I was like, I can't be doing this any longer.
Right.
So I felt like a fraud coaching my clients to do something opposite. I was doing another thing, and they were like, how are you getting like this? And I was like, well, I'm doing this, but you don't do this. I'm doing this instead. This is much more healthier and you'll be much more happier because I'm miserable as fuck.
Yeah, I get you. It's kind of like a lot of religious leaders,
Yeah.
They say one thing and then the other.
That's it. Like, and
dig in there,
But basically, like once I'd done the bodybuilding prep, I remember like that day I rang up my coach and I was like, I can't do this. Heads up the wall. My brother just showed up to my house maybe an hour ago and he was worried about me.
Okay.
Knowing like signs of depression can sometimes be in the tidiness of the house and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like
OCD, imperfection,
and the house was just messy as hell. There was things everywhere. I had no energy to do anything, and I was like, "This has to stop." Stopped, went down to the shop, had a full pack of cookies, 4 sausage rolls, a breakfast bap, and like I lived. You know where Lattice Drive is?
Yeah.
The petrol station.
Yeah.
And do you know where Iceland is?
Yeah.
On Dromore,
He doesn't live there anymore if anybody wants to stop.
So I don't actually, which is good. Like literally that car journey to there, I managed to eat all that food in that one sitting. And I was still starving. So then weeks went on, I was binging quite a lot, getting them big boxes of Crave cereal, throwing that down me, like then 950 gram.
Can I ask you, did you have an end date? Because for me, I'm kind of thinking those things are a great tool to do that body stripping and stuff. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes you need to do that to really get to that place.
Yes.
But were you thinking in your mind, I need to live this way forever? You didn't have like a certain journey at the point of, I'm only going to do this for 3 months, or, you know?
No, I started it because I wanted to stop. This is mad. I wanted to stop taking drugs.
Okay.
And I knew that if I committed to something so mad,
I get it.
That I would, that I would do it. So I did, and it stopped me from doing all that.
Okay.
I wasn't a drug addict. I just partied loads. Used to love the sesh.
Right.
Just loved it. Yeah, you're right. I was worse than Henry Hoover.
Well, sure. All been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. And like, so basically, I didn't realize there was like an end point. Like, I didn't realize it was an unsustainable journey.
Yeah.
And then that led to me really like struggling with like, okay, I'm fatter now. See, if I look back at the photos that I thought I was fat.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. And this led to like,
excuse me,
eating eating a bowl of cereal, finishing the whole thing, and then looking at myself, feeling worse, doing it again, feeling really hungry, not stopping. This carried on for over 1.5 years.
Wow, that's a long period.
Then thanks to Kira, my good friend, she had help from someone who dealt with that kind of thing specifically.
Okay.
Then I like basically learned what she'd learned.
Yeah.
And through that, I begun to really stop binging. And one of the key things that helped me stop binging was scrapping the whole cutting, bulking, building a muscle cycle, and just eating like a normal person to fuel my normal daily life.
Yeah. Okay.
See constant cycles of this.
Yeah.
And if your relationship with food's not good, that does not help. It's very confusing. I have to force feed myself, then I have to restrict myself.
Yeah.
So I stopped that, along with a bit of like therapy.
Okay.
That's where therapy kind of kicked in.
Yeah, class. Yeah.
A bit of self-love, a bit of like, you know, you're all good. Perfection doesn't mean that you have to be super shredded.
Yeah.
I got to a point where now I'm relatively sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get the odd overeating.
Okay, but that's just normal. You want a wee day and you're just sitting and you're chilling out, you're eating like mad, and that's fine, you know what I mean? But
like
you've got a much healthier relationship with it now.
A binge would be fast acting 30 minutes of eating as much as we
can.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
And did you ever make yourself sick after it or anything, or just?
There was one day where I thought, like, I might. There was just one day where I ate so much that I felt so sore in my stomach that I thought I'd be sick, but it wasn't to maintain skinny. It was to release the pressure of my stomach. Like, I was like that, and it was so sore. But I couldn't, so I just lay back in bed in pain.
Yeah. And also binge eating, you're eating your emotions. So, you know, you probably didn't know that at the time, or you didn't know how to regulate your emotions. Very
self-aware, very not aware of why I was doing these things, and like the lad culture, as it would be like, oh, I just ate loads of food, like LOL, like this is funny, and you would tell everyone like, oh lad, just get another burger or something. Like, and that did not help. Like, and you felt shit at the time, and it was joking, but they'd obviously all been through it and dealt with it in a different way.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, that's binging stuff, really.
Right. Yeah.
And now I kind of can help people.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe not help them so much, but more like understand where they're coming from.
Understand. You've got empathy because you've been down that path. You know what it feels like, you know, and you can be, especially if you're secretly binging, you know, you're like, I can't wait to go to work here. And then you're stopping, and then you're getting a whole munch, and nobody knows. You know, so you're secret eating, and then,
Yeah, not the worst things, but it was just not ideal. Like it was
Well,
just
it's just emotionally draining as well.
very emotionally
You
draining.
know what I
It
mean?
was very like emotionally eating. You were just
Yeah.
emotionally just going for it, and it'd be
Wow.
rather impressive at times.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was
You don't even fit all this in.
I know, so I couldn't do it now. I just couldn't even like. I could eat like a normal person,
Aye.
and like I would struggle to even eat that much food.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, and that's where hypnosis can come in as well, because it helps talk to the mind. Because sometimes your mind doesn't tell your body that it's full, or if you know what I mean. There's like a disconnection there. So
it was. How I heard it work. It was like I could eat and eat and eat and eat, never feel full.
Yeah.
But my stomach itself would be in pain,
yeah,
due to the fact that I ate so much.
Yeah.
And that was it was quite sore.
I'm
like
sure it is,
and
yeah.
like my ankles swell up a bit and all, like from
What?
edema. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Fucking self-harm, isn't it, like?
aye, not good.
Wow.
And I just wish
Thanks for sharing that.
maybe if the coach had maybe been a bit more knowledgeable, he would have maybe said, "Look, Scott, like I can see that you're not doing this for the right reasons. You need to."
100%, and that's why I feel that people should have a good knowledge of emotional, mindset and how your clients are at. So if all the PTs were to do some sort of, like basic counseling or something like that, it would really help them be able to manage their clients a lot better, because a lot of the time people are going to the gym for the wrong reason.
Yep.
It's masking another issue. You know what I mean?
Revenge bods or
something like that. Yeah, really, you don't even want to be here, but you're being here because society says you have to come and train.
100%. You
have to be skinny, or you have to and they really don't even want to be there, but it's distracting from another issue.
Yeah,
so if people had a better knowledge about that, then they'd probably be able to help the client a lot more.
100%. I feel like it's, for me anyway, it's like, I would understand. You can see when someone's in the gym for the wrong reason and it's trying to get them. I always try to say, okay, well, not willing to open up about this yet, but let's try to get them to enjoy exercise as much as possible. Yeah. That will benefit them positively.
Yeah.
And through positive, well, that's what I always say. Positive, when you're more positive, you tend to take more positive actions. Yeah. Which lead to more, you sorting out other things in your life.
Of course.
Which can be a real, but it doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes you have to be like, let's go this way.
Yeah.
It's like, I got a client to go to therapy once.
Aye, okay.
I seen it happen and I was like, you need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
We sat down in the gym floor and we got her to actually do it.
Right.
There and then, like, actually make contact with someone.
Oh, seriously? Well, good.
All good now. All good now.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
It's one of like a proud client moment that you're like, oh, this was so good. Like, but I don't want to say too much because
no, it's other people's story, and you can't talk for other people and client confidentiality at all. But that just shows how actually in tune you are then, and intuitive, and I suppose what a good coach you actually are. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's class. Yeah. So fair play to you, mate.
Always happy to. What am I always say? I'm always happy to offload someone to someone else who's better than me. Like, I am not equipped for you, but I know someone is.
Well, that's, again, having a good awareness of your own skill set and being comfortable enough to also say, no, actually, this is out of my lane, you know, and you're not in it just for money.
Yeah. You just do someone damage. You just do someone like people will go to PTs.
Yeah.
And they just get such a bad impression of what a PT is like, and then they stop. Yeah. And like that person could have actually ended up getting could have had a great experience, could have really changed their life and could have been so much better down the line. But now they've seen how bad PTs are and then they never go again. That's such a shame again because they could achieve so much more with the right person instead of someone taking their money, not coaching them correctly, telling them the wrong things.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I admire anybody who's had a bad PT comes to a better PT. And then they're like, oh my goodness.
This is like night and day.
What's like, I never knew you said all this. Like, this is normally what most people should be doing.
Yeah. Because it's a holistic approach. So, Scott, as we're coming to the end of the interview here, we've been chatting for ages and we're way over time, but it's okay. I will edit or do something.
Just set it up. There's some mad stuff.
If somebody wants to sit for an hour and 5 minutes and watch us talking, then here, happy days, fair play to them. But just as we're finishing off, what does the next year look like for you? So I'm not going to say 5-year plan because I actually really don't like that. I'm practicing at the minute, trying to be in the here, now, and present as much as possible. And the reason why I'm going to say that quickly is because I love the visioneering and the goal setting and stuff like that, and all the, having a big, massive C-type goal or whatever. But I think being in that place can take you away from your reality as well. Yes, have a big goal that you want to work towards, but put it aside. Try and be present in the here and now, so that you can just enjoy your moment.
Yep.
So that's why I think a year, working on year cycles is good, because a year's it's not that long.
It's not that long, no.
So where do you see yourself in the next year, or what's your plans?
That's something I like having, like what you said, I agree with firmly.
Yeah.
Like just like if you do a 5-year plan, like you don't know what's going to happen.
No, you don't. It's
really
overwhelming.
It's good to be ambitious and it's good to strive for something that you really want. But there will be things that, like, I didn't know I was going to be a PT. I didn't know that I was going to go to group coaching.
Right, okay, yeah.
I didn't know I was going to run marathons.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was going to become a Christian. So I think for me, like the main thing that I really want to just do is like growing my coaching business to make it just better.
Yeah.
Not necessarily more money, but I just want it to be better. Just get to improve upon it more and more and more.
Okay.
That's all I really care about. And that's really what I enjoy, is getting my coaching to be better.
Yeah.
How do I do that? Invest in myself. Invest in yourself. You learn more about what you need to do.
Of course. Yeah.
And that's really all I want.
Amazing.
That sounds really ambitious, but
no, it's not. It's a class.
Just want that from my clients. Great, like, just really improving for my clients, because they need a great service, not really just do that.
Yeah, amazing. Because the big things will achieve naturally if you're doing that. There, if you've got that at the heart of that, then that's service, and you're just letting them come naturally. Then, do you know what I mean? It's which is lovely.
Chasing money, which I did when I was a bit younger.
I don't know.
Fucking hell.
But I was chasing money to go out the weekend. It wasn't to friggin' buy a house or to do anything like that. It was to go out the weekend and buy clothes. And you're like, why am I doing this now? And now they're not doing drinking or the other stuff. Then I'm like, I've no money now. I'm like, okay.
It's just an endless cycle of, like,
But, brilliant. Scott, thank you
very much.
so much. That was actually really, really good.
I did enjoy that,
we're going to have to break that down and put it into 2 parts or whatever. I don't know. I'll work it out anyway.
Maybe 1 hour, 10 minutes. It's actually, it'll be a bit longer because the bit at the start.
Oh, I have to put the intro and all that helping and stuff.
You need to get a wee jingle.
I need to get a wee jingle, yeah. And then a wee intro thing it up. Anyway, it'll all come together. So, Scott, thank you so much. Amazing, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant.